Hello dear students, welcome to my chemistry class, Chemistry with Grishma again. So in today's class, I am going to explain you the one more redox reaction balancing method that is in the acidic medium. So watch my previous video where I was explained for basic medium. So now I will be explaining you for the acidic medium. So for the exam point of view, they will be mentioned in the question whether it is acidic or a basic medium. So based on that you need to complete the process and you could do that problem. So now whatever the example I have taken, it is in the acidic medium. So remember, for the acidic medium, what you need to do, the basic condition is to balance oxygen you need to add H2O, but in the basic method we used to balance oxygen we added OH minus, but in the acidic to balance oxygen we are adding H2O. That is a major difference. And to balance H2O we need to add here H plus. So this is a basic condition for acidic medium. When we are solving the redox reaction in the acidic medium, the thing considered to be is this one. That is very important. Okay. Then the similar steps to the basic method. So first what we need to do is we have to find out the oxidation states of MnO4, SO2, Mn already they have given +2 and HSO4. So we have to solve the oxidation state. So after solving oxidation state, we need to divide the equation into two equal half equations. So let us start it by making the oxidation states first. So in MnO4, we need to find out the oxidation state of Mn. So let us consider this Mn as a X. So it will be X plus, since we have 4 oxygens, 4 into every oxygen considered as a -2, and we have an charge minus, so we have to take it as -1. So find out, you will get X minus 8 equals to -1, then X value will be +7. This is the charge of MnO4 minus. Next consider SO2. If you consider SO2, we need to find out the oxidation state of sulfur. So consider this as a X. So X plus 2 into, since we have 2 oxygens, into -2, that is equal. So since we don't have any charge, so take it as a 0. Then it will be X minus 4 equals to 0, then X value is +4. So in SO2, the sulfur oxidation state is +4, here the Mn is +7. So here Mn they are already given as a +2, so we no need to balance, find out the oxidation state. Already the oxidation state of Mn is given as +2. And then we have HSO4. If you consider HSO4 minus, hydrogen we have 1, it should be considered as a 1 itself, plus sulfur we need to find out, so consider as a X, and oxygens we have 4 into every oxygen -2, that is equals to, we have a minus charge, so it is a -1. Then you go on simplify, you will get X value equals to +6. So in HSO4, sulfur oxidation state is +6. So once we find out the oxidation state, the next step what we need to do is we have to divide the equation into two equal halves, that is oxidation reaction and reduction reaction. So if you look here, we have MnO4 from +7 charge, it is reduced to +2 charge. So we will consider this as a reduction. And then we have +4 to +6 considered as oxidation. So we have to divide and write it separately, both of the equations. So I am writing here reduction reaction, and here I am writing oxidation reaction. So the reduction reaction what I have is MnO4 minus gives rise to Mn +2, and oxidation reaction I have, that is SO2 gives rise to HSO4. This is the oxidation reaction. So the same process like a basic method. So first thing what you need to do is, other than the oxygen and hydrogens, the remaining things you need to balance. So here other than oxygens we have only manganese, that is Mn, but in the reactant and product side, both of the side manganese is already balanced. So we no need to balance it again. That's why next we have to go for balancing the oxygen. So when we go for balancing oxygen, look at the reactant side, we have 4 oxygens, and look at the product side, we don't have any oxygen. So we need to balance the oxygen. Where we don't have oxygens, there we need to add it. But in the acidic medium, to balance oxygen, we need to add H2O. So that's why in the product side, I will add, since here we have 4 oxygens, we don't have any oxygens. So I will add 4 H2O in the product side. So in the acidic medium, to balance oxygen, we need to add H2O. That's why the equation becomes like this. MnO4 minus gives rise to Mn plus 2 plus 4H2O. I hope you are understanding. So this is a step to balance the oxygen. So after we balance the oxygen, then next we have to balance the H2O. So here is a small logic and tricky that you need to understand, my dear students. So after we balance the oxygen, when we are going for the next step to balance the water molecules. So look at the reactant side, we don't have any water and we don't have any hydrogens also. But in the product side, you look, we have 4 water molecules. So since we have 4 water molecules, in the product side, we should not add, to balance H2O, we have to add H plus. So don't add 4H plus. What you need to do is, already what we added the water, in that water molecule, how many hydrogens are there? Please check for the number of hydrogens. So here if you look, we have 4 to the 8, we have 8 hydrogens. That's why in the reactant side, to balance the water, we have to add 8H plus. So what you need to do is, after you added some water molecules, in the water molecule what you added, look how many hydrogens are there. So find out how many hydrogens. So that many hydrogens you need to add in the reactant side. I hope you are understanding. So the equation becomes MnO4 minus plus, here in the reactant side, in the product side we have 8 hydrogens, but in the reactant side we don't have. That's why I will add here 8H plus, gives rise to Mn plus 2 plus 4H2O. So now look for it, in the reactant and product side, everything is equal. We have here 8 hydrogens. Even in the product side I have 8 hydrogens. And we have here 4 oxygens. Here also I have 4 oxygens. So it is all balanced. So after we balance the oxygen and H2O, then next what we need to do is, we have to balance the charge. So to balance the charge, look what is the charge of MnO4. We already found it is plus 7. And look what is the charge of Mn, that is already plus 2, it is given in the equation. So I written same thing. So if you look for the difference, from plus 7 to plus 2, we have the difference of 5 electrons. So what we have to do is, we have to add 5 electrons. But where we need to add, that is very important. Since we are solving the reduction reaction, we need to add the electrons in the reactant side. As I already told, remember RR. So when we are solving the reduction reaction, add the number of electrons in the reactant side. So that is this side. So how is difference? Plus 7 plus 2, the difference is 5 electrons. So you need to add 5 electrons. So equation becomes MnO4 minus plus 8H plus 5 electrons. I am adding your 5 electrons, because the difference of 7 and 2 is 5 electrons. Since it is a reduction reaction, so I am adding it in the reactant side. And then the continue that Mn plus 2 plus 4H2O. So that is the equation. Same procedure, do it for the oxidation also. So since we have here SO2 and HSO4, other than oxygen and hydrogen, you need to balance remaining things. That is the first step. So if you look here, oxygen, hydrogen, leave it. Leave oxygen and hydrogen. Other than oxygen, hydrogen, what we have? Sulfur, right? But in the reactant and product side, both side we have sulfur already balanced. So no need to balance it again. So the next what we have to do? We have to balance the oxygen. So to balance oxygen, look at the reactant side, we have 2 oxygens. In the product side, we have 4 oxygens. So to balance the oxygen, what we have to add? We have to add H2O in the acidic medium. So remember, this is very important. So to balance oxygen, add H2O where the oxygens are less. So in that side we need to add. So here in the reactant side we have 2 oxygens less. That's why I will add 2 H2O. So the equation becomes SO2 plus 2H2O gives rise to HSO4. So after we balance the oxygen, now we need to balance the H2O. So as I already told you, to balance H2O, how many H2Os are there in the one side? And that many H2Os should not be added in the opposite side. What you have to do? We added here 2 H2O. In this H2O, how many hydrogens are there? Please check it for hydrogens. Then it will be, we have 4 hydrogens. That's why in the product side, I have to add, to balance H2O, I have to add 4 hydrogens. That is 4H plus. How many water we added? In that water, check how many hydrogens are there. So that many hydrogens you need to add in the product side. So the equation becomes SO2 plus 2H2O gives rise to HSO4 plus. Since we have 4 hydrogens, add 4H plus. Now look at the oxygen and hydrogen, it is all balanced. So in the reaction side I have 4 hydrogens, products also I have 4 hydrogens, and in the reactants I have 2 oxygens plus 2 oxygens, 4 oxygens, and here also I have 4 oxygens. But the thing is, here very important students, you have to concentrate. Here we have 4 hydrogens, so I have to add 4 hydrogens in the product side. But look here, in HSO4 I already have 1 hydrogen. So what I should do? I need not to add 4, I have to add only 3 hydrogens. That is very important. So students will get confused and they will add 4 hydrogens. That's what I am showing you. So in H2O, 2H2O we have 4 hydrogens. So 4 hydrogens should not be added in this condition. Why? Because already in HSO4 we have 1 hydrogen present. So 1 hydrogen is present. So remaining 3 hydrogens are required. So it becomes 4. I hope you are understanding. Yeah. So now if you look, we have